These are obviously dark times, and for one like me who grew up, watching movies and shows and reading about heroes, it would be awesome if somebody were coming to save us. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're going to, not anytime soon. But what if they could? Okay, we've got a writer joining us with probably the article I've enjoyed most on the internet in the past few weeks. Joining us once again, justice correspondent at The Nation, Elie Mystal. Welcome back to the Damage Report.
Thank you so much for having me.
Great to have you. So you wrote an article in The Nation, Could Wonder Woman Save Us from COVID-19? Tell me how you came up with this idea of breaking down what heroes could actually accomplish in 2020.
Okay, I have two kids, a 7-year-old and a recently turned 5-year-old. And the 7-year-old, we're trying to slightly introduce him to the concept of news, which means we're lightly introducing him to the concept of evil, right? Of evil and lying. And so he understands that Donald Trump is the mean president. And that he's does bad things in this world. So we were kind of it was on. We were talking, and he goes as only a child can. I think we need Batman to show up and do something. And my knee-jerk kind of liberal reaction was, what the hell is Batman gonna do? And all that dude does is like violate due process. And it kind of spun me off into we've got very wealthy people in our current world, right? We've got the Elon Musks and the Jeff Bezos and the Bill Gates. And what do? Nothing. They don't do one damn thing to actually help. They're more concerned with building space stations than actually handling the massive threat to our democracy, right? So that's kind of how I got thinking okay, well, who would help? Who could actually do something? And that's how that article came up.
So you're implying that Bloomberg with batarangs is not the solution to our problem, basically.
Right? I don't want Bloomberg stopping and frisking me in the Batmobile. His cops are problematic enough, right? And again, I'm being somewhat flippant, but I do think that it's important for people to remember that while everybody loves Iron Man, everybody loves Batman, these are great kind of comic book heroes. The reality of our world is that people with the most money and people therefore kind of with the most power in our society they don't Robin Hood it, right? They don't use that money for good. They use that money to consolidate their own power, squeeze more profit out of their workers. And when they have these great big ideas, it tends to be these kind of ideas that would fundamentally involve separating themselves from the rest of us, right?
Yeah.
Elon Musk does not want to build a moon colony to feed some poor people in Harlem. He wants to build a moon colony so when this place erupts, he's got some place to go.
Yeah, it's less Superman, more Dr. Evil. And it's great. Obviously, harsh realities you're telling us. As a person who's always loved Iron Man, it hurts a little bit, but I get what you're saying. Batman, technically in this time, is sort of a vigilante working with the police, which is uncomfortable considering what we've been seeing recently. So we're pushing them to the side. So who made it past the smell test on this? Who actually would be able to do something good in 2020?
Well, I had to start with AntMan. Because what we're facing is a deadly virus. And I had to think who can actually fight, if we're gonna use punching and kicking, who can actually fight the virus, right? AntMan gets small enough to actually fight coronavirus. Unfortunately, as I point out in the piece, that's the single shot solution, right? He got 5 million cases, AntMan's one dude. Right, so that doesn't really help, right? So I grew, no pun intended, from there. And it was, it was very kind of Marvel and DC based. I'm sorry, I know, amongst amongst high nerds, it was a very low brow.
No Image or Dark Horse or anything like that.
But the first person I thought of was AntMan, who was 6th on my list, and the second person I thought of was Wonder Woman. The concept of truth is the thing that we miss the most, I think, during this administration, and really just during where the world is right now. The concept that our leaders can just be forced to tell us the truth. Wonder Woman could use her lasso to just force our leaders to tell us the truth was super appealing to me.
That's a great point, because Like, it's not like we don't have interviews where we sort of learn something. Like Jonathan Swan can sit down with Trump and ask him some tough questions, and Trump will sort of flail and all of that. And if you already get what Trump is, you can learn something there. But he's not actually being forced to tell the truth ever. We're not actually getting what he thinks about his base and all of that. If Axios could bring her on as a contractor to sit him down and wrap him in the lasso, yeah, that would be a powerful moment.
And Jonathan Swan asks his questions, right? Like
he can still be there,
right? Like it's look, journalism is important, but it's not just Trump though, right? Like as much as I love the Dr. Fauci and whatever, I wouldn't want to have him under a lasso and be like, what did Trump really say? Like what did that man really tell you, right? Because there's so many people in our society right now who are compromised. They might be compromised for good. They might, honestly, they're trying to placate Trump because they know that sucking up to him is how they get the resources they need for their state or their county or whatever. There are obviously people sucking up to him for bad, for grift, for whatever. If we could just get people to tell us the truth about why they're doing what they do.
Yeah,
and that's so much of my work, and I think so much of your work as well. It's obvious, right? It's out there. The truth is out there. It's not complicated. All we're doing is just saying, like, look right here. This is what they're doing. This is why. This is what they're doing, right? But people don't believe us.
Yeah.
So many people think that we're biased, or we have an axe to grind, or it's actually a policy matter. When we're just trying to say, no, just look in front of your face, right? And so if you could just get some of these people to admit what they're doing, that would be so helpful, I think, for the country. Because it's not like they don't have an argument, right? Like there's a reason why Mitch McConnell wants to suppress the votes of any person of color, right? He wants power, he wants to win, right? There's an argument. There's an argument that Mitch McConnell should just be in power. I would like to make him make that argument.
Yeah.
Like make the argument for why Black people should not be able to vote. Don't give me this song and dance about how you're not actually trying to suppress the vote when we all know you are.
Yeah.
Just tell the damn truth, and then let's have, because that's what Republicans for so long, they're just like, what should be a marketplace of ideas, and the best idea should win, and all. Well, we can't get to a point where the best idea can win if we're lying about the idea.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, and look, it wouldn't be a solution to everything. If Mitch McConnell was wrapped in the lasso and said, I want power, I want to give money to the rich, and I hope no Black person ever votes, at least 20% of the country is gonna say, sign me up for that. But at least we would get to some truth. So I do like that. The issue is that Wonder Woman's gonna be busy in the near future. She's got a movie coming out. She's got to do publicity for that and everything. So, and I don't want to go through the whole list because I want people to go to The Nation and I want them to read your article. But if you could have one runner-up, if you can't get Wonder Woman, who would be your backup from her?
I mean, right? Wakanda already got damn cure. We know that.
Yeah, that's true.
If
vaccine was developed, Shuri is the true warp speed for developing a vaccine.
Right, because the thing I love about Shuri is that she's applied science, right? It's not, she doesn't just sit in a lab just thinking, like she's putting that stuff into the suit, right? She's making the cars, right? I like that applied science aspect that Shuri brings. And the other thing that I like about her as my kind of runner-up is that she's a truth teller as well. She doesn't have a lot of BS. Like T'Challa, God love him, but man, that dude is like reading philosophy and sitting in some like cave with some Nietzsche trying to figure out how. Man, Shuri's gonna tell you the truth. Shuri's just gonna show up, be like, yeah, wear a mask, wear a damn mask, right? And so that also I think makes her an interesting hero in this moment. I need less philosophy, I need less deep thoughts, I need more direct action with these problems that again are so relatively obvious and relatively solvable if we were just all operating from the same from a shared set of facts.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.